Hey, how y'all doing today? It's the Cowboys experience with Big Game James, and I got my guy Law Nation. What's up, man?
Man, nothing to it, man. Hey, it was a great day today. Fantastic practice. But I'm going to tell you something. This defense, boy, have you seen this defense out there, bro?
Man, we was out here today. We got out here a little bit late, but the first thing I noticed when we seen the one-on-one drills, when we saw the offensive linemen and the defensive linemen going together, just the plethora of the players that coming in and out. You're seeing Tyrone Crawford and DeMarcus Lawrence sitting on the sidelines, but you got them rookies. Jalen Jokes looks good.
Right.
Joe Jackson is looking okay. That kid Daniel Wise is an animal. He goes hard every single play. That's number 64, undrafted rookie defensive tackle from Kansas. Just players upon players. And Quinn was even sitting out today, but you see how many guys that can just keep on rotating in and out, and I think that's the thing that excites me. And I told you one more thing, that Dorrance Armstrong Jr., he's the one that you really better watch out for.
Yeah, because he gave number 77 some work action the other day. And then on top of that, today, I'm going to tell you, this defense then pretty much put Dak Prescott on a choke slam almost. But this is just practice, so don't fret, don't get afraid, Cowboy Nation. This is what we want to see. This is what we expect, because this should be the number one defense in the NFL.
Exactly, and that's what I really feel you as well. People get frustrated and they see, oh, well, Dak might be struggling in practice or anything, but people need to understand how about this defense may really be that good to make him struggle. But at the end of the day, isn't that supposed to get him better? So when he comes in the regular season and he's fighting against these tough defenses, he's already seen these type of things, so the struggle is not as bad because you went through this at practice. So if anything, this helps Dak Prescott every day, every single day that defense comes and brings it, because they're not letting him give any inch if you watch this all the time.
Yes, and there's three things that I want to say about the defense opposed to the offense. I'm going to give a little cherry to the offense. This guy named Guyton, that's on the third team defense offense.
Mm-hmm.
He is kicking butt out there.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have the other guy, John Vay. He's number 81. He's kicking tail out there and getting nobody. He's like, hey, I'm going to show you guys that I deserve to be on this team.
Mm-hmm.
And number 11, he's having a great camp so far. So those are the spotlights and the shines on the offense. We do see the emergence of Alfred Morris. He's wearing 23 out there. He's doing a great job as well.
Well, I think the real biggest thing with the receivers are, especially with John Vay Johnson, also Jalen Guyton, the biggest things to me is I seen Tavon Austin in street clothes. Okay, I seen Noah Brown in street clothes. Those things are not going to help you another year. Before your years past, you didn't have the depth at receiver, so you could say a Tavon Austin can slide through or Noah Brown could slide through. But now when you got these receivers and they're hungry and they have speed, that's going to change the game, because that's what the Cowboys have been looking for a very long time, for having speed at the receiver position. Now you got these young guys are hungry. So Tavon Austin, Noah Brown, you better get healthy, because if not, you might see your walking papers just like your boy Allen Hurns did. I hate to say it that way.
Well, we hate to say it that way. And people, I want the nation to know that there's a guy that wears number 40. Mm-hmm. I'm not calling him Ezekiel Elliott. Don't get that twisted. But what I'm saying is that he runs angry. Mm-hmm. He runs with a tenacious attitude, and he fights upfield. Mm-hmm. And I love his feet. And I didn't know that he ran almost a similar 40 time than Tony Pollard.
He ran a 4.4 actually, and he actually tested good as well in his at Ohio State. You know why they went that route. I mean, Ohio State, you have a productive back. He came behind Ezekiel Elliott, had an awesome freshman year, had a little bit of an injury bug. But the thing with Mike Weber is, as you've been talking about, he's got a chip on his shoulder. He felt like he should have been drafted higher than the 7th-round pick. So he's out there feeling like, you know what, I'm out there to prove something. If you've been seeing out here, he's been laying the wood. He's been putting his shoulder down. He's trying to get a roster spot. So as much as we want to see Ezekiel Elliott in camp, and we all want to see him, right, I'm not feeling as terrible when you get an Alfred Morris who is a veteran. Then you got these young explosive players. And you saw yesterday, even in that drill, when Jalen Smith and Tony Pollard went one-on-one. If Dak would have got that ball there, Tony Pollard killed that man, and we know Jalen Smith got them wheels back. You feel me?
Right. And today, Tony Pollard caught a touchdown in the red zone, money zone, green zone. So that's what we like to see out of a running back that can catch the ball out of the backfield. There's so many people that I talked to earlier today in my chat box. They were saying, look, what happened to us in 2017 when Ezekiel Elliott wasn't there? But I have to ask you this right here. Although Ezekiel Elliott wasn't with us for 6 games in 2017, we didn't have those boys. We didn't have a Michael Gallup. The best wide receiver outside of Dez Bryant was a guy named Terrence Williams. And we don't have a we don't have a Terrence Williams out there. Right. So what I'm saying collectively, this team is night and day from 2017, if you know what I mean.
And I think that's the biggest thing that makes you feel a little bit better is that you have depth and you have balance like we didn't have in 2017. Just like you said, you had a Rod Smith. Rod Smith, he wasn't explosive. We love Rod Smith, but he wasn't scaring any defense. Let's be honest with you. Now Dallas has that explosion where now you don't have a horse now. You can still come with explosion. And I think that's the way the draft and the way that Stephen Jones and Jerry Jones have been trying to do this is continue to build through the draft, get solid free agents. So if something like happens with the star, you don't have that big of a fall off. And that's the biggest thing when you're trying to build a team and stay competitive year in, year out. It's not just your top half, it's that middle and that bottom. You got to get that really good, and these undrafted rookie free agents are making a push on the defensive end and on the offensive side of the ball as well.
Oh, man, I got to talk to you guys real quick on Tristan. Look, as dominant he was in college and as fast and explosive he is as well. Let me tell you guys this right quick. This guy, Tristan, he's going to be coming behind a Malik. He's going to be coming behind an Antoine Barbecue Woods. So put that into your mental. This guy is going to be fresh. Right. And when you're fresh out there, the opposition is going to be looking at it like, man, how can I stop this team when once we get used to that power from Antoine Barbecue Woods, now we got this quick twitch guy, and he wears number 79, Tristan.
Well, I know one thing, Tristan Hill, he's got a lot of power from what I've seen. And like I said, he's going to continue to get better because I think he's Ron Marinelli's kind of pet cat. He's a guy that he personally just wants to kind of build up. And I think Tristan Hill, with those guys that he already has in front of him, when you have a Malik Collins who's in a contract year, and Antoine Woods is on only a one-year deal. He has 1 year left. These guys are playing for a long-term deal, so you're going to get their best. So every day in practice, Hill's got to bring it because if not, he's not going to be in that rotation because these guys are trying to get these contracts and trying to put in work so they can get contracts and secure their future, maybe with Dallas or maybe with somebody else. We don't know. We'll see that later on down the line.
And one more thing about contract talk, we probably be overlooking old boys playing for a contract year too. Anthony Brown. I forgot about that. Yes. It's a contract year for him. So guys, this team, when you play on the contract year, we've seen how other players on our team in the past, DeMarcus Lawrence in the contract year, all of a sudden
Anthony Spencer, remember we had Anthony Spencer? We were always frustrated with Anthony Spencer. He had that contract year, he got 11 sacks. Contract years change you.
Oh, I would love for Anthony Brown. Boy, I would love for Anthony Brown to get like 2 or 3 interceptions this year on his contract year.
Well, hey, whatever these guys got to do on their contract year, do it this year because, like you said, Anthony Brown, we need some interceptions. Malik Collins, we need sacks. Antoine Woods, we need sacks. And we need that front and that middle covered more than anything else because that's what happened last year when we got gashed against the Rams. So when you drafted the Tristan Hill and you have guys in the contract year, there needs to be a really solid middle. But if you're watching that offense and that defense this year, that defense is putting a lot of pressure on this offense already in camp.
Oh, man. And then speaking of that, let me say this. We not only just draft Tristan, we picked up some guys off the street, like the Kerry Hiders, who Leon Lett is working out with him every chance he can get because he loves him. That's like his pet cat. We call him Big Cat, but that's his pet cat, number 51. Right. And then if you add into the fact that we got Christian Covington, who did a great job on the one-on-ones.
Yes, he did.
Boy.
He real good. And he was playing on the outside on that.
And we're not talking about starters. We're talking about depths. They did something we talking about depth. So when we face the LA Rams again or the Colts of the world, we ready for them.
Well, I know I made a little point that when you remember when Mike Daniels got released from the Green Bay Packers, back in the day when we didn't have that depth, and if a Mike Daniels was released from the Green Bay Packers, everybody in Cowboy land would be like, oh, we got to sign Mike Daniels. We got to sign him. We need him. But it's a good feeling when you have a veteran like that who is a top 100 player, been a top 1 player for the last few years, and has been a very good player in the league. It feels good when you don't have to actually look at him because you say, you know what, we're good. We got a starting line. We got rotation. We got guys that we're probably going to cut that they don't even want to let go. Right. They got guys that are probably going to get cut this year that you're going to be hurting and probably go with someone else and be a good player. That's how deep the Cowboys are this year. So as long as they keep on staying with that same motto, drafting well, paying the right type of free agents, signing your core, it's going to keep the Cowboys competitive. We just got to see what these future contracts with Dak Prescott, Amari Cooper, and Ezekiel Elliott, we got to see what those contracts happen. Let me ask you a quick question. I know we don't really want to jump into it because they talk about it all day, all night with these contracts, but do you think Ezekiel Elliott will show up before that August 6th so he can get that occurred free agency year?
Well, I think so because the money is on the table already. Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones said, hey, we gave him a contract. Now it's up to him and his agent. So there's three parties in the contract. It's the running back himself, Ezekiel Elliott. It's the agent, of course, and then it's Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones. So to me personally, if Ezekiel Elliott really want to be bought in and sold in on this particular team, if we talking about being driven, they got T-shirts and stuff that says driven, then if he's about their work action, then he would look into that contract and get out here because we really need for this team to be 100% heading into week 1 and heading into week 2 and beyond.
I mean, that's the biggest thing with me. Like I told you before, you do the schedule to me in fives. In the first 5 games, you have 4 games that are NFC games, 2 games that are back-to-back NFC East games. So the Cowboys, to me, have to start out fast. They can't have a slow start like we have had in the before. And it just, you know, you don't want to have to rely on teams later on in the year because you dropped a few games that you shouldn't have. Now you have to rely on some NFC teams. We don't want to rely on that. You want to come back in there and you want to get a back-to-back championship because that's been a long time since you had back-to-back NFC East champions. So the Cowboys really need to stay on one accord. So hopefully that situation will come good with Ezekiel, especially with that occurred. He doesn't want to lose that occurred free agency year. So it would make sense for him to be here. But as I said, you never know what happens. We thought Le'Veon Bell was going to play a full year. Nobody thought he was going to set out a full season, and he did it. So that's a little bit of the known, but we'll see what happens. So let me ask you a few more things before we get off here. What are some of your kind of hot takes that since you've seen training camp, since you've been here, you've been out here pretty much all week, what are some of the biggest things that have stood out to you in this camp since you've been here up close?
The difference in the offense, they throwing the ball deeper down the field, and before every play, they doing some type of motion. And either they have a jet sweep to come around the corner, a false jet sweep, and they doing those things. So that's what I'm seeing out of this offense. Now, there are some young guys that's stepping up to the fray. I'm talking about the guy that wears number 11, and I ain't talking about hot sauce. This guy named Reggie Davis.
You like him.
Reggie, man.
You like him.
Look, my only thing is I'm just ready to see if Reggie can take a hit, though.
Right.
I mean,
He's not the biggest guy.
He's not the biggest guy. He's 173 pounds. So we're going to see if Reggie Davis can take a hit. I think that do they hit in blue and white practice?
Yeah, they hitting in that blue and white. So we'll see if he can. We'll see if he can take that hit.
Yeah, Guyton, he's on the 3rd team. So we're going to see if he can jump Jan Vea to move to the 2nd team. This will all occur, I guess, this weekend, so I want you guys to tune in Sunday, and as well as with the first preseason game. We'll see if when the lights turn on, can these guys keep that same energy.
Okay. So how do you feel about the running back position? I know Ezekiel Elliott is out. Do you feel like these rookies, are you really going to be looking at them at the blue and white scrimmage, really seeing how they run out the backfield, how they remember plays, things of that nature?
So far, it's been Darius Jackson, the number 1 running back out here. We will see whether or not he's going to be able to keep his footing and stay on the field. Now, the main guy that I'm looking for, he wears number 3 and 6. His name is Tony Pollard. We want to see what he can do because the best thing that can happen for us Cowboys is a Philip Lindsay type of situation. He came for the Broncos when he was undrafted or he was drafted in the 7th round or something like that, and he stepped up to the plate, and nobody batted an eye and said, hey, this guy don't need to start in the National Football League. They was all saying, like, look, it's a blessing in disguise for us. So if that can happen for us, man, that would be something spectacular in my opinion.
Well, you know what? We're getting ready to head out here, but I'm going to give you my few final thoughts before we head into that blue-white scrimmage, which happens Sunday at 3:30 p.m. My biggest takes, just like you said, a lot of motion, a lot of different things that Kellen Moore is showing, and I really like that. But to me, I'm a defensive guy. I don't know about y'all, but I love the defense, and I'm just excited about this defense. I love the pressure that they're putting in. Just how you mentioned the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd teams, we have waves of that defensive line. When you're looking at the guys that we're bringing out, you get excited because you're sitting there thinking like, Jalen Jackson, those guys are third team, and they're still nice. They're still putting in work. And DeMarcus Lawrence and Tyrone Crawford aren't even on the field, nor Byron Jones. So how can you not be excited when you see the team right now looking as tough as it is, given Dak Prescott and the other quarterbacks, the fits that they are, and your top guys are not even in the fold? That's what has to have you excited, and that's what has me excited more than anything is that defense, that defensive line, and I really want to see what's going to happen in this Blue Rise scrimmage, and even our first scrimmage, our first preseason game that's getting ready to come up is going to be very interesting because usually we before all preseason, let's hurry up and get it over with, but this preseason, now you're sitting there like, I want to see what John V. Johnson looks like. Now I want to see what a Jalen Guy. Now you want to see what a Jalen Jones. Now you see what these guys are looking like as we're about to talk and walk, so stay tuned.
I want to be able to say this, and we almost left this out, Cowboy Nation. There's a guy that wears number 33 on his team. I'm talking about
bad.
He's been nasty with it. What you say?
Okay.
Oh, you got to get the stuff. Okay.
Say we moving and walking. Yeah. We moving and walking.
Speaking of moonwalking,
Well,
there's a guy that wears 33, but his name is Michael Jackson, and he's moonwalking all over the field. Yeah, he's moonwalking all over the field. He's doing his thing. Michael Jackson, we need to be looking out for him. He's on top of everything. Boy, look, I'm moonwalking just like he was doing out there on the field. He had the most bat downs out there today. And then on top of that, he's not afraid to hit. He's a big boy. I didn't know he was that big out there.
He got some real good size.
Chris Richard know how to pick him, man.
Well, hey, we're about to head out here because they was kicking us out. Hey, we love you though. Hey, we love y'all. We appreciate everybody. Hey, and we appreciate everybody who tuned in on the Cowboys Experience. Make sure you tune in tomorrow. We'll be close with the action. We'll be here early. Law's going to be heading out tomorrow. He was out here all week, so we definitely appreciate the coverage he was giving the Cowboys Experience. We'll be here tomorrow and for Sunday for the Blue White Scrimmage, so make sure you tune in. We're trying to get some good autographs for you and some good action, and I believe you'll love everything. So for me, Big Game James, Producer G, and Law Nation, the Cowboys Experience, we'll talk to you soon. Have a good day.